How to flirt as a man if it's seen as inappropriate to flirt outside of parties, clubs and bars. Keep in mind you are getting love advice from Reddit, by the way. My partner gets approached by guys all the time. Even when I'm around, she is extremely exhausted by it. Sometimes these encounters turn into scary situations for her, with her being threatened, cursed at or followed. Please give women a little bit of peace and follow some of the higher ratioed comments in this topic. 1 tip. If a woman is close to you and she doesn't make eye contact, real eye contact, not just a glance, or look at you at all, she doesn't want to talk to you. It's amazing how many guys still approach when I avoid eye contact and am actively moving out of the vicinity. It's not inappropriate to flirt outside clubs and bars. Being obnoxious or making someone uncomfortable is inappropriate in any environment. Treat her like a friend before you ever treat her like a lover and you'll get far. Be confident. You have value too, and if you know that, she'll see that. Above all, be respectful. If you're not enjoying the interaction, or neither is she. Assuming good faith, I will answer. The reason is that parties, clubs, and bars are understood gatherings for the express purpose of socializing. Being out in public at large is not. This is why it is inappropriate. It was never appropriate, but it's a lot less tolerated now than it was back in the 1980s. That's all. As a woman, I will tell you that I will never be interested in grabbing a drink with a complete stranger that I met in public, like at a grocery store, on a bus, at a coffee shop. If I'm out and about, running errands or whatnot, and some guy approaches me, I will have one of 2 reactions. Either I'm in the mood to engage, and I chat for a couple minutes, or I'm not in the mood to engage and I try to end the interaction as soon as possible. However, even when I do engage with the person, the most I am ever going to do is chat for 2 minutes. That is not enough time to get to know the person well enough to exchange numbers or go to a second location. If a couple of friendly minutes of banter is what you're after, then go for it. But I would never go on a date with a stranger who approached me out of the blue. And neither would any of my female friends. And, for the record, I am in the minority of my female friends when it comes to having one of 2 reactions, as I stated above. Most of my friends only have one reaction to strangers trying to flirt with them, and that is to be annoyed and disengage as soon as possible. I'm fine with flirting outside of bars, clubs, and parties, but only if you have a reason to be talking to me in the first place. If we have a class together, or have friends in common, or play a sport together or volunteer together or already know each other in one way or another, then I'm more open to flirting. I wouldn't recommend it. It's an issue of scale. Before you ever met this woman, she has likely been dealing with negative male attention for a large part of her life. Men started yelling out their car windows at me when I was 12. There is a long list of men who were creepy to her in public before you. And from the outside, she can't tell the difference between you and them. If she's attracted to you, that helps. But even attractive guys can be dangerous. Approaching a woman in public is going to set off alarm bells in her brain. 'Cause we have been warned by our mothers and our own experience that this is not a safe situation. And it's not you. It's every creepy man who came before you. Stick to places where women will feel comfortable meeting people, sports and rec clubs, bars, singles events. If she's seen you around a few times, she will be way more receptive to talking than she would to a complete stranger. I do think it's inappropriate, unfortunately. And even if it weren't, I just don't see it having a high success rate. I'm never in the mood to be approached if I'm just going about my day honestly. Besides the places you listed, I think it might be okay in a cafe or at a sports game. But I do not like to be approached on the street or in a grocery store or on public transit, etc. I will say, no matter where you are. Headphones mean leave me TF alone. I've never been angrier than when a man makes me take my headphones out so I can hear him spit game. I used to call people that asked me out on the street street people, when I was single, and I went through a phase for a couple of months where I said, what the hell, and went in spite of my reservations. I can say that every single one of those dates were terrible. People don't really do the meet cute thing in real life. Just use Tinder or get friends to set you up. I wouldn't say inappropriate, but be very sure you can read body and verbal cues. Some people will be upfront with a no, some panic, and look really uncomfortable. I've seen plenty of guys do it right as long as you are respectful with whatever answer you get. And you know when it's your time to leave. I don't believe it's an issue. Here's advice from a woman. I hope it is helpful. I'm about 5 feet tall and have been conditioned to be precautious. But if a guy approached me in these ways, I don't think I would be scared off. In a grocery store, ask her if she has any suggestions to make a meal with W.E. ingredients she seems to know about. Or just ask her if she knows how to cook with something that you two are near. It's nothing big, but it'll start a safe conversation. If you're at a coffee shop, ask her if she has any suggestions. This is just to start a conversation. I find that the conversations at the grocery store, a craft store, or coffee shop are much more enjoyable and interesting than those in a bar. You two are already in a place that you both need something from or are interested in. Notice that the questions are not personal as to not creep her out. And the comments are not about her looks, so you don't come off being vain. As for the something to steer clear of, don't ask too many questions about their kids if they happen to have kids. 3 questions maximum. Otherwise, it seems like you're a predator and it freaks out moms. Hope this helped. I think this is a very interesting social concept. It seems like a lot of people think it's bad to approach women in certain everyday situations. Part of the reason women don't like it is because it happens a lot. Especially if they are attractive. And they just get tired of it. The funny thing is that men who respect this idea that a woman doesn't want to be approached in certain situations will not approach women in these situations. But the men who don't respect it don't care and will approach women. So when women are in situations where they don't want to be approached, they are only getting approached by disrespectful dudes. Which in turn kind of creates the reasoning as to why they don't want to be approached. Because it's usually a situation with a lack of respect or with creepy vibes. I feel like if these situations were more respectful, then it wouldn't be as much of an issue. It would just be mildly annoying having to turn down people frequently. So yeah, IDK, if there's a right answer, you should probably make sure there are some non-verbal cues indicating some interest before flirting with someone. If you want to grab someone's attention, do it in an innocent manner. Hey, I like your shirt. Wow, that's a cool tattoo. Where did you get it done? Etc. And if she sends some kind of positive signal, maybe you can ask for her Instagram or something. I think it's not as intense as asking for a phone number. But you need to be able to read non-verbal cues in body language. I won't say it's overall bad or inappropriate, but my personal experience and opinion as a woman is that men coming up to me and trying to hit on me, flirt with me in public is pretty much my nightmare scenario. It's extremely uncomfortable and never ever is it gonna be successful because I'll just be so uncomfortable. Also, I'm a lesbian. But that's just me. I'm sure there's many women who do like men doing all that. So if you're gonna do it, just be very comfortable with rejection and don't expect us to all be perfectly polite and welcoming to unsolicited interaction. Just do it. Screw what people think. Some people will like it. Some people won't. Respond to people who reciprocate your actions and don't be afraid to follow your instinct as long as it doesn't hurt or harm others. There is a difference between being at the bookstore and having someone make a comment about loving the book you have in your hand. Engaging if she will banter, discuss it with you, and going up to a woman on the street and saying something gross, sexual, "You are so beautiful." If it is in a casual environment, "You don't encroach upon my space. And you seem to want to get to know me as a person. Not a sex object. Maybe, but read the room." If you are talking a lot more than she is probably not interested. This post and the answers I've been reading just reinforces that I will never have a girlfriend or get married and just die alone. Lol. Am I the only one who is okay with being approached? As long as the guy is respectful about it? People in this sub who are commenting are giving conflicting answers, which shows you that it completely depends on the person and the setting. There is no way to know unless you try, but be respectful and be prepared for rejection. Look, just smile across the room, and if she smiles back genuinely with eye contact, you're good to talk. I believe the most palatable option nowadays is being introduced by a mutual friend. Adopt some hobbies and activities that have a mix of men and women. If meeting someone is important to you, it might be worth the investment of effort. Young friends groups of museums and other cultural institutions are a reliable way to meet people, as are faith communities, volunteer groups, civic groups, adult education classes, groups like hiking or birdwatching clubs, social dancing groups, heritage groups, neighborhood associations, your local political parties even, and festivals, conventions where people showcase their crafts or music. All are places where there is an assumption of some sort of shared interest. This promotes meeting others. Good luck.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.